Hello and welcome to the Lauron Sloppy Dota 2 match analysis. Last time I discussed a match where I was Treant Protector. This time around we're going to discuss a match where I was the lady... Spirit of Vengeance, Vengeful Spirit. I don't even know the name anymore for some reason. I've been sleep deprived in a couple of days now, but the point is that you'll notice something interesting. There's only one pick thus far, and that's Zeus. And there's 10 seconds to the match. Yeah, that is indeed correct. We don't pick that many here until a certain point of the game. Only our random, who is, I believe, called Rora, picked Zeus. I'm playing with Desire This, or Up There Is a Thing, according to this guy, Vencia, and Deal Tyrus, all friends of mine, and this random who is Rora, or, Zeus. So Up There Is a Thing picks Lich, which is a very, very nice support, especially thanks to his ult, which makes him super good. He trades away buys a courier. Deal Tyrus is another support, and he picks Rubik. Goes with Lift, of course, immediately. Buys a couple of clarities. Vancia picks Weaver, which weaves her doom, I guess. Which is a very, very nice carry. Probably the hardest carry, definitely the hardest carry, actually, in our team, by far, since I was Vengeful Spirit. And he buys two clarities for now. Apparently, with not Mr. Desire This is... yeah, he was leaving the fountain with his courier there, and Tyrus buys the courier because, we need two couriers. He goes and he ends up selling his courier, but he has not enough money for the wards. So what they end up doing with the Vengeful Spirit, which is a semi-support, well, I will have to play as a carry, essentially. But even as a carry, I'll be forced to buy wards, because essentially there was a little mistake in the conversation in the team. I believe it's mostly because Tyrus didn't see the courier, and Tis forgot to use his own courier. What he could have done is simply just use the courier from here and be done with it, but that didn't happen. What do we have on the enemy team? The enemy team on the bottom lane has Abaddon, or Abaddon, I believe it's Abaddon because it's double D, and Sniper. Abaddon is known to be a semi-support, semi-carry, whatever you want to play him as. In this match particularly, he's going to be playing as a carry, which is kind of remarkable because Puck middle, which is a carry, and top we have Axe and Anti-Mage, which are both carries. Essentially, Axe could become a semi-support-ish super semi because of Battle Hunger, but he doesn't build Battle Hunger first. So I go up and place my mythical wards, which were really, really nice. And here with Vengeful Spirit, we're going to be laning with Rubik, which got his illusion. I believe he's going to attempt some early harass, but we won't manage to do a lot more than that. Certainly not an early gank, that's for sure. Up middle we have Zeus, of course. Zeus is one of those heroes that should be going with an early bottle, because he's very mana intensive for his Arc Lightning and Lightning Bolt. He doesn't. Spoiler. Up top we have, of course, Leech and Weaver. Leech being the support and Weaver being the carry. Weaver being one of the best carries in the game as far as I'm concerned. Certainly one of the hardest to kill carries thanks to Weaver's ulti. I believe it's a he, but I still think it's a she. But still, thanks to the ultimate time lapse, which resets Weaver back into time, it makes it really, really hard to kill. Down the bottom lane, I am having a very hard time last hitting, because Vengeful Spirit is actually quite known for having little damage early on, which is kind of a sad thing altogether, but later on in the game you'll notice that I get quite a bit of damage done. Now I'll have to keep on close eyes on the health bar so that I know where there is a gank going on or someone is about to die, so that I actually have the camera there on the right time, but let's focus on this lane. What did I do wrong? Well, kinda nothing at all. I was maybe going a bit too heavy on the resources for healing up my health and mana. But then again, you actually require this with something like Vengeful Spirit. If you're attempting a gank with Magic Missile, that's 110 mana, and she has 220 mana. So that's quite a bit of mana, you know? Besides, Rubik is also quite mana intensive, especially once he gets level 6 and he starts stealing the abilities of others. Now here, I was a bit too cocky, I believe, and I just went straight forward. Then I start using a bit of my own harassment, which is Wave of Terror. It costs only 40 mana, it reduces health by 30 to 90, not reduces, but rather damages 30 to 90 health, and reduces also armor, that's the reduction, which is really nice. Also, it gives vision, and it has a debuff of 20 seconds, which is the armor. Now, this is actually a very nice ability because it's an area of effect essentially by its line, you know. If you aim it right, you can hit multiple targets, so it's essentially an area of effect. Here we have... now this might be actually... yeah, should be First Blood, yes. So we have Anti-Mage who teleports straight into the trees. Vencia, or rather Weaver, suspects something about it, so Weaver is, you know, around there doing stuff. But Axe then blocks it here. By the way, this guy, nowhere to be seen. He didn't even have enough mana to do anything. But still, Weaver gets the First Blood and afterwards gets slaughtered by Axe. However, it's worth noting that together she got more money than she lost. So it was definitely an advantage to our side. But it's a bit of a shame because Weaver should actually be kept alive early on so that you don't lose too much experience points in the lane. Overall, Axe got experience. Weaver got it too. Leech is level 4. I don't know why Weaver and Axe are level 3, but that doesn't matter. Down in bottom lane, things are not happening. I don't think things will happen until... oh, this was super close, actually. I didn't even realize. I've seen Zeus use his Lightning Bolt and Ultimate a couple of times, but I never understood why. I believe this actually, both Lightning Bolt and Thunder God's Wrath have a... global effect, as in, well, this just hits everybody, but this actually is hearable throughout the map, so I've actually heard that shot coming. In the bottom lane, I have only 7 last hits at minute 5, which is kind of bad, considering they have 10 and 7. Yeah, they're both last hitting, yet no one in their team is actually playing a support, so that is a disadvantage in their team. We had a lot of supports. In fact, we could arguably have had more supports than carries, essentially. But I went with Vengeful Spirit for one particular reason. Look at the disables on our team. We have Rubik, which has Telekinesis, the lift, as well as Spell Steal, and he can steal any disable that the other team has. But how many disables does the other team have? Not many. So yeah, I think I went right with Vengeful Spirit here, and I think I did good, because she has quite a nice disable. And this is Magic Missiles. This is a nice disable that goes from 1.5 seconds up to 1 second and 3/4, and does a lot of damage too, so that's even nicer. It doesn't even cost that much mana late game, so it's really, really nice as an ability. But as you can see, I have a lot of money. I'm not spending it because these guys are constantly pushing our lane. The creep line is always pushed at our tower, and that makes me last hit harder, sadly, and I'm not able to go to the side shop to buy a couple of items. I was tempting to buy power treads, but I simply wasn't able to. Rubik doesn't have a lot of money simply because, you know, he's a support. He doesn't get an awful lot of money, although he could have, you know, stacked and pulled, but it wasn't that necessary. So Courier is traveling towards Weaver with a Circlet and a Rave Band recipe, so that is a Ring of Aquila, which is instantly deactivated. That was really excellent timing for that Ring of Aquila deactivations. So yeah, Weaver here noticed that something was going on. Anti-Mage was probably stacking this camp. This is the, what is it called? Hard camp, or big camp, or large camp, I don't even know. But yeah, and essentially what happened here now, if you check, Puck came here to do some ganking, but no, it doesn't happen. Against Rubik and me, who both have disables, it just didn't happen. And wait for it, just wait for it, and here is a pause. Sadly, Axe had to restart the game, but it wasn't that much of a big deal. No one unpaused, so there was actually a sporty pause going on. So let's check what the enemy team has thus far. Axe has a Ring of Protection, a Stout Shield, of course. Stout Shield is good under the tower, because if creeps are being pulled, and if the other dude, who is, well, Anti-Mage, is off killing the creeps, then of course the Stout Shield is going to help, because creeps get aggro from you if you're under the tower. The tower is not gonna get hit unless it's a catapult. The catapults usually hit towers even if you're under it. And the creeps are going to attack you. Essentially the Stout Shield will make you a bit more survivable under the tower, so you can get last hits easier. The Ring of Protection, I suppose, it is for A boots, Tranquil Boots, which actually add a lot of speed since Axe is not the fastest hero, and also gives you a bit more survivability through the active effect of Tranquil Boots, which is a heal. Anti-Mage has Band of Elvenskin, a whole bunch of things you cannot really build with it. You can build a Yasha, I believe, and Power Treads. You can build Power Treads. You can build Power Treads with any tier 2 attribute gain items, so essentially Belt of Strength, Band of Elvenskin, and Robe of Mage. I didn't know that. Oh yeah, here's my icebreaker. I usually do icebreakers when there is a break in the game. You can read that for being entertained a bit. Stout Shield, of course, again, top lane. It's actually useful sometimes. Quelling Blade to get better last hits. It's still, what, 22%? 32% actually, bonus damage, so that's really nice. Lich has his Circlet. He has a Ring of Protection, some Boots of Speed. I don't know what he was actually going for. Was it going for also Tranquil Boots? It is possible. He's actually a quite fast hero normally, with 315 base speed. I don't know, was he going for Tranquil Boots or something else? I'm not too sure. Well, Weaver has Ring of Aquila, which is really a nice aura regen. The 0.65 mana regen from the aura actually becomes worse than just a Sage Mask, which is needed both for Ring of Aquila as well as the Ring of Basilius, which gives 50% mana increase, regeneration increase. And at 33 intelligence, that mana regeneration is better than Ring of Aquila, essentially. Middle, we have Zeus. Zeus has a lot of money. He doesn't spend it on a bottle, kind of weirdly enough. Puck is dead. She has a bottle. Puck is a she, yeah. She has a bottle. She actually got a bottle early on, I believe, and was bottling all along, so that was okay from her. And down south we have, of course, this, which is being built into a Tranquil Boots for Abaddon. And quite interestingly enough, 3 Slippers of Agility for Sniper. Usually you go maybe with 2, not 3, because each costs 150, and considering that for 150 and this is 53, he had to pay 503 just for that, meaning that he had 103 gold left for survivability items like Tangos or Saws. I'm not too sure what he went with. Probably Tangos would be my guess. But then again, they have Abaddon, which just reminded me that he has the Mist Coil, which heals up an ally for damaging himself, or damages up an enemy for damaging up himself too. Which is always an interesting ability. Here are the Tranquil Boots for Abaddon. So yeah, he, I believe, went with an early Ring of Regeneration, I'm not too sure. Usually I would go with a Ring of Protection so you can complete the Tranquil Boots here, because at the side shop you can actually buy both Ring of Regen as well as Boots of Speed, but you cannot buy a Ring of Protection. So that's kind of an interesting choice. I'm shocked. Well, I bought my Power Treads, I bought also some survivability through Tangos and a Clarity Potions. I am very mana intensive at this point of the game. I have my Nether Swap because I'm level 6. He's not level 6 yet, but he's very close. Once he gets to level 6, he can steal spells. What are the optimal spells to steal? Well, Sniper's Assassinate ability. I don't know if he used Shrapnel throughout the game, so as long as he used once Assassinate, then Rubik would have been able to steal his Assassinate every single time, which is kind of ridiculous. It's like Viper in his ultimate, you know, you just cast it once. It's the only ability that Viper can be stolen. So if Viper uses his ultimate once, then you just have it forever available for you. So that's actually quite a neat trick against Viper if you're Rubik. Now in middle here, there is Abaddon. He gets definitely spotted. He stands still. He's still standing still. He's definitely not moving. And there we go, he moves. So Sniper has his power treads on strength. That's definitely an option if you want to be more survivable, but since he's quite a ranged hero, I would rather have gone with agility early on, but that's just me usually. I have weird choices. Puck has only bottle and a couple of gauntlets of strength, possibly building an Urn of Shadows, which gives healing, survivability through healing, as well as some mana regeneration, which is always nice. This is actually an item that I will be building. I actually set my power treads to agility as soon as possible, and I bought a couple of portal scrolls in case something tricky happened up top lane. And interestingly enough, Axe used his Berserker's Call, thinking that it taunts heroes, but it doesn't. And here we have it. Sniper uses his ulti, so Spellsteal would have stolen that ulti every time now. There's a lot of death coming from Lich's ulti. Lich is almost dead, Axe is almost dead, Weaver's almost dead. Things are happening very fast here. And that is the death of Lich through Puck's Illusionary Orb. Vencia, or rather Weaver, is able to actually get a triple kill. And I don't know if this is actually one of those moments I wasn't too sure about. Because I'm pretty sure Puck noticed that Weaver was here, and I'm pretty sure that Puck had the Illusory Orb ready, so Puck could have used the Illusory Orb straight through the trees and killed Weaver, pretty much killed Weaver, I'm sure. 140, maybe not, but, you know, it could have damaged Weaver at least, and she could have also gotten to Weaver faster and could have gotten the hit, so that was a bit of a... Because there was a catapult here, I'm pretty sure that Puck saw Weaver here, teleporting away. I don't know what happened though, but it doesn't really matter in the long run. Weaver got away, which is the most important part of it. And Weaver is on full health again, which is also very much important, since Weaver is pretty much the hardest carry in this match by far. Abaddon getting some harass from my Wave of Terror. Very nice ability. I really like Wave of Terror. Then I don't know what I was thinking, but no, I just cannot go solo against Abaddon. Not at this point, at least. Not yet. I still harass him a bit with Wave of Terror. I don't know, I don't think it went through his shield, but still. I have 1 assist thus far. I believe Rubik got the kill for Puck, which is fine. He was actually supporting, so he got some money, which is always nice for buying whatever he's buying. He doesn't have boots yet, go figure. Yeah, he's buying a lot of wards, keep in mind that he actually got a ward from me because I bought them at the start of the game. He's buying a lot of wards, and that actually is not very cost efficient. Basically, he's the warder of our team. Here I'm having some trouble with Abaddon's shield, then Weaver comes in and I'm like, now we got him. I think I'm gonna use my magic missile here, yes I do. The ultimate plops, and I am very low on health. He brings me even 4th down, and the shield explosion kills me. But the good news is, Weaver gets the kill. It's more important that Weaver gets the kill than my death, actually. My death wasn't that important because I definitely wasn't the hardest carry of the team. I was a carry, but not the hardest. I think Zeus was harder to carry than me. By the way, Zeus middle with the constant ring of Basilius activated, meaning that he just wanted to push really hard. And here Puck and Antimage were attempting an attack against Weaver, but that just doesn't happen. As long as Weaver has a tiny little bit of aura for mana, sorry, not aura, for Shikuchi, then Weaver is safe. You need something like a dust of appearance or something, and on minute 13 and a half, it's quite early for a dust, I guess. But then again, what do you want to do? It's also worth noting that they never did ward. We had lots of wards here in the middle in case they roached or something, as well as a ward here for the rune, but this is actually not necessary because both of these reveal this rune. I guess this would be more than enough, but it's fine either way. So we have Anti-Mage and Abaddon down here, as well as me. There is Vencia and with Weaver, and Desire-Vis with Lich. I think it's Desire-Vis or Desire-Vis or Desire-Vis. I'm not too sure. I don't speak. I don't know how to pronounce his name, sadly. Up top we have Anti-Mage, who teleported actually, and Axe, who is bashing that really hard, and Anti-Mage gets the last hit. Rubik went up here, and he has actually Berserker Skull, which is not the best ability for a Rubik, really. Berserker Skull is really good against creep waves, so that you can aggro them, and with the axe and his passive counter helix, you can get a lot of kills really quickly. So yeah, it's not very optimal for Abaddon at all. And here he steals Blink, I believe. Yes, he steals Blink, and that is a very useful ability, actually. You know, a Blink Dagger costs about 2,150 gold, so yeah. I think Axe died to a neutral or something? Did that happen? Yeah, Axe died to a neutral. And things are happening down here. We're killing these guys. I get that last hit on the sniper through my magic missile. So yeah, there was a lot of death happening down here. So I'm sorry for not going down there. Everybody was panicking, aside from me and Weaver actually, was panicking about this bug here. But then I was, Weaver was like, dude, we kind of killed Buck already. Yeah, I don't even know what they were thinking, but oh well. Anti-Mage, super low on health after getting the creeps. He was actually pulling and stacking, getting the farm, but he didn't have a lot of money. What did I have at this point? Only power treads and about 1,000 gold. I think I was asking the team what I should be buying next. I think they suggested to me an Urn of Shadows for that extra survivability as well as mana regeneration. Sadly, Tyrus, or Rubik, is still without his boots, but he does have a magic wand, which I believe he actually had already early on in the game. But yeah, not having boots is not very optimal, and not having the money for boots is not very optimal at minute 16. Leech does have his Tranquil Boot, a headdress which he can turn into a mechanism, seeing that he has an Iron Branch, which is part of the Buckler, which is part of Mechanism. I'm pretty sure that he was building a Mechanism in the first place. And he has a Bracer, which he can turn into a Drum of Endurance later on, which is always nice. So is he actually probably seeking to go for a Bracer. And this dude has 3 Rave Bands. I'm not too sure what was going on. Weaver has, of course, Perseverance. Perseverance very useful, simply because of the mana regeneration, health regeneration, as well as the bonus damage. But not only that, it's also part of Weaver's most important item, which is Lincoln Sphere. Lincoln Sphere basically denying a disable spell or such for 17 seconds, or rather, at each 17 seconds you basically block one single spell. One could argue that it's not as good as Black King Bar, but for one hero like Weaver, where, you know, just denying that one single... Oh, that was unfortunate. Weaver was actually stunned by Puck's... what was it? Was it Waning Rift? I'm not too sure. Oh, I believe Dream Coil, maybe? I'm not too sure what is that ability, but... Yeah. Basically, if you run away from the center too much, then you just get stunned, but... She didn't have Shukuchi ready, Weaver, so she couldn't do anything. I'm still calling her a she, even if it's a he. I still cannot put in the head that he is a he. I'm just gonna call Weaver a she, so forgive me for that. So here there's a lot of people middle pushing. I think we might lose this tower, I'm not too sure. Rubik has Blink, not very useful as an ability. We Fortify, and Abaddon gets his ulti plopped. It's actually an automatic plopping, actually. So he's safe for now. Weaver comes in, starts wreaking some havoc. So is Puck around. But so is also Rubik, who blinks away. The only thing that I am protesting about Rubik right now is that he's not using Spell Steal too much. But then again, what do you have to use it? I guess you could use Assassinate if he hasn't used Shrapnel last time. But definitely Puck has a lot of useful abilities that he could take. I mean, Illusory Orb is really good. Assassinate is really good. What else? Abaddon's... I don't know if you can steal the ultimate, I'm not too sure. Mist Coil or Ephatic, I believe it's Ephatic Shield, is very useful. Axe, well, mostly his Battle Hunger is useful, but it's a bit hard to get the right one at the right time, I guess, for Axe. Anti-Mage has Blink useful, sure, but surely he could have stolen a bit more spells. But I shouldn't be really complaining about how the match was going thus far. His Blink certainly helped him a couple of times. But, by the way, this Rubik face is awesome. He looks like a villain from Action Man or something. I actually told that to him. And we push this tower. I'm being very useful by just being present there. I have my Urn of Shadows. I have an Iron Branch still. I have a Blade of Alacrity, which gives me 10 agility. What was I doing right now? I think I was... Yeah, where was I going? Where am I? I'm here. I thought I was teleporting. I wasn't teleporting. I don't have even teleportation scrolls. I think I was going to buy them right now. For going middle or something. I'm not too sure. Or was it bottom? Let's see. I definitely sell my branch and I teleport bottom together with Lich. It takes a bit longer because he teleported first. If you didn't know, the amount of teleportations at one instance will lengthen the teleportation of another member that casts teleportation later. It doesn't make any sense, I know, but essentially it's a bit of a longer cooldown. And here we get almost this dude. I was about to use Nether Swap, I believe, on him when he actually teleported away. I was about to click on him when he actually blinked away. Sadly, I don't know if actually Nether Swap would have helped because he was here, I was here. He would have swapped here and then he could have still blinked here in the trees and he would have been safe. But God knows how it would have gone. My reaction time wasn't optimal there. I was actually buying a Yasha at this point. I wanted extra speed, attack speed and damage, which is always nice. Yasha has all of that for an agility hero. Yasha actually a very useful agility item even for non-agility heroes, because it gives that 10% movement speed, which is really nice. I believe I was wondering here if I should nether swap with someone under the tower, but no, that's not a clever thing to do. Weaver is doing what Weaver does best, kill everything. Rubik has Assassinate, which is really good. Rubik having Assassinate is really good. Because, you know, usually Rubik as an intelligence hero gets to have more mana than Sniper, which is an agility hero. I'm not too sure how much Sniper has right now, but since he has 38 intelligence and he has 48 and 49, you could guess that Rubik has more. Just a tiny little bit more, but still. He has boots, by the way. I'm proud of him. So, what do we have here?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I want to keep close eye on Rubik and spell still, because that's one thing that I want to learn myself. I definitely am underusing spell steal, whereas good Rubiks should be spamming spell steal as much as possible. The cooldown is only 16 seconds on level 3, 20 seconds on level 1.
Tower is under attack.
So it's not a huge cooldown. You just like use an ability, change ability, use an ability, change ability, use an ability, change ability, and you chain that. I don't know if you actually steal the same ability twice if the cooldown resets. I'm not too sure about that. Probably not. It would be kind of broken if you just like stole Assassinate from Sniper and over and over again. Actually, no, never mind. This cooldown is lower than the ultimate from Rubik, so it doesn't really matter what I was about to say there. But you know, definitely spamming the spell steal for Rubik is one thing that I need to learn to do better. But I haven't played an official match with Rubik yet. Only bot matches. So what am I doing with my life? I'm not too sure if I actually buy anything else in the entire match. I was slowly crawling my way bottom. That's essentially all I do. We were very close to getting the Lincoln Sphere. I actually don't know how much the recipe for Lincoln Sphere is. I would like to see, but I don't know if I can check here. I actually can. The recipe costs 1,350, so Weaver is about 600 gold away from Lincoln Sphere, which is really nice. That is a weird Assassinate, by the way, on low ground, and this is an Assassinate that goes on Baden, which actually ends up killing Rubik simply because... that was a nice stun. I was really proud of that stun, by the way. The Assassinate, I believe, plopped the ephatic shield of Rubik, and the ephatic shield essentially killed Rubik. Sorry, ephatic shield of Abaddon, and the ephatic shield from Abaddon killed Rubik. That's more like it. They actually sentry warded, believe it or not. Probably, my guess it would be that it was either Puck. Actually, it was Axe. That's really cool of him.
To me.
He's building a Vanguard, kind of a late Vanguard, but still. He has sentry wards, he plopped a sentry ward down middle, probably because they wanted to see Weaver's activity through Shukuchi, so they could gank possibly Weaver. But right now the match is going slightly on our favor, and when I say slightly I mean a lot on our favor, with only 6 minutes left. You can actually kind of figure out who's gonna win at this point, right? Sadly. Something will happen, you'll see. Puck has a bottle, Puck has power treads on strength, a bracer, and a gauntlet of strength. I don't know what they're building on right now, it's a bit hard to figure out. Okay. And Weaver does have her Lincoln Sphere, which is always nice. He's... for God's sake, I'll never remember that. Zeus still has his Ring of Basilius activated, although at this point it doesn't really matter because the laning phase is over, so we can just keep our rings on and stuff like that. That is a mega kill from Weaver. Weaver has never had a problem, 11 kills, 2 deaths in this match. I think I had 3-1 at the end. I have 2-1 at this point, so I'm gonna kill one more person. I don't know who. We actually spotted this ward through Zeus's ulti, which is actually a short true sight. I didn't even realize that it ran out, so that's a good thing. But I was panicking about, there's a sentry ward, and God, I didn't know that sniper was there. And I was getting hit hard, and I was getting really hit hard there. Then of course we have Rubik, which excellently blinked and lifted Sniper, and Sniper is dead. Sniper is a dead sniper. That blink was beautiful through all these trees. Lift. That was really fantastically done by Rubik. I must compliment Tyrus on that. He's an excellent support and an excellent player otherwise, much better than I am, so yeah. Really good, Tyrus, really good. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud. I don't think he's gonna watch my video, but that's not the point. Puck here is very dead. Puck is very dead. I have only my Urn of Shadows, I have my Yasha, and I have my Power Treads. At least I'm building green items, you know. Eco-friendly items is always nice to have. Weaver teleports bottom. Still standard build, Lincoln Sphere. I don't know what Weaver was building afterwards. I personally would have built something like... oh, and here is what happened. Here's what happened. Abaddon abandoned the game. Abaddon abandoned the game. I actually made a pun about that. And Axe abandoned too. So yeah, that just happened. Vancy asks kindly if we should pause, if it's a disconnect, and no. No. Exit. And I was like, no, we don't exit, we win. At this point, our victory was assured. I mean, it was assured already in the past. I never actually underestimated the players. I actually fixed the mistake that I did on my previously commentated match. And that is, I never underestimated the players. So that was actually a good thing for me. Because his ass is painful. Oh, I don't even know. So yeah, at this point, I also have Drums of Endurance, which is always nice. I believe someone else might have been building them. He went with Mechanism. He might have been building them, I'm not too sure. Ring of Regeneration, I'm not too sure. Ring of Regeneration, what is it used for? Let me check. Is it even available in this list? Yes, it is. I guess he was going with Force Staff, because as a support, Force Staff is really nice. Especially as disabling support through his slows. Q and R are both very good slows. Had no clue that the anti-mage was here with so little health. But I was coming in. At this point, I believe I said, you know, the match is over. Shouldn't we try at least to, you know, get their Ancient before they get abandoned? And we just, I don't know, I felt like a kind man for once. And I decided to say, like, let's... By the way, that's my first and only Nether swap, and it might have not been that useful, but hell, we killed it. But yeah, at this point I was like, remarkably kind, and I said, let's destroy the Ancient before they get an abandonment. Because I don't really like the abandonment detail, because If at this point you abandon, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't, I don't even think if it considers a true match if you get an abandonment from the other team. I don't know if it counts as a victory. It definitely counts as a defeat for them and an abandonment if they actually are offline for 5 minutes. But I don't know if it... okay, Vencia was going for Monkey King Bar. Okay. Good to know. I mean, you usually go with a lot of damage at this point, either Monkey King Bar or the lesser damage gainer, which is, of course, the Desolator. Desolator wouldn't have been that useful, even if it stacks with my... even if it stacks with my Wave of Terror, I guess it wouldn't have been that useful, but at this point this is game over. We had just 1 minute to destroy this. They fortified. Quite remarkable, either Axe or Pact fortified for one or the other reason, but you guys don't get an abandon. Yeah, that's what I said, that's what I wanted to do, you know. GG, well played. You know, they didn't play horribly. I think Puck played well, Anti-Mage also played well. Axe was abandoned, and Sniper definitely didn't know what they were doing in the bottom lane. Sadly, both were playing as support. You can actually see their items. Sniper had 3 Rave Bands. You don't really need 3 Rave Bands. 2, maybe. 1, possibly. But 3 definitely not. Axe was, of course, on his way to build Vanguard, but it was too late at that point, really. Puck had a few items, but that was mostly caused by his 8 deaths. Actually, I'm a C reveal winning team, so we can see some items. Anti-Mage was on his way of building a Malfury. Actually, he had enough money to buy it at the end of the game, but, you know, that happened. Anti-Mage and Puck definitely played a good game overall. Puck especially knew what was doing through ganks and all that, but didn't get a lot of support from his or her other teammates, which is kind of unfortunate. It wasn't really an ill-fated match overall. I guess it was just unlucky. We were queuing up together. It is mostly probable that some of them were queuing up together. I don't think they got us a solo queue, all of these guys, and got us 4 together. This was a random, of course. I suppose at least a couple of them were queuing up together. Could have been Sniper and Axe. Could have been Axe and Puck. Because I don't know, it's a bit hard to say just by the interactions that the other team had with us. It's a bit hard to say. I don't know if there's actually an easier way to say, but yeah. It's a bit of a nuisance what happened in the end, but they didn't get an abandon, so it was really kind of us. We got a victory. It was a nice victory. What I could have improved is probably should have gone with a Medallion of Courage to get extra mana regeneration as well as extra harass power from my armor disabling. It wasn't necessary at all, actually. At that point of the game it wasn't necessary. But you know, 8 armor less is still 8 armor less. So it's really good. I really like Medallion of Courage as it's useful. Even if I wasn't a full support or a full carry. That's even more of a reason, you know. Weaver does a lot of damage, you want those other enemies. Actually, Rubik had a Medallion of Courage, I just noticed that. So it wasn't entirely necessary to have 2 of them, but at the same time I could have gotten 1 and just had 2 of their heroes constantly being harassed with less armor and possibly even ganked or killed just because they had little armor. My performance was okay-ish, wasn't perfect. I was very unconvinced by which items I should be getting. I got a drum because that extra movement speed is always nice. It also gives an aura attack speed, which is also nice. It gives a lot of attributes, which is very nice, and damage. So you basically get 12 damage as well as a bunch of health and mana, which is nice. What else do you get? Actually 1 armor too, because 9 attributes means 9 agility, which is 1 armor and 2 7th. So that's really nice. Yeah, I should have definitely gotten something else too. I had some money to spend at the end. I wasn't sure what to get though, because I didn't have the attack speed to get something like a Chrysalis or a Skull Dasher. I didn't want to go exactly with a Mjolnir because I don't know if it's very useful for Vengeful Spirit. I definitely think I should have gone with something like a Medallion of Courage. or any other item, essentially, that is a semi-supportish item, not like, you know, arcane boots or mechanism or stuff like that. I don't think 4 stuff would have been that useful with my nether swap. Neither blink dagger, really. I'm thinking right now which items I could have gone with. I can actually check the library of items and see here really quickly. I'm not too sure, but well, Orchid gives both damage, attack speed, intelligence, as well as a lot of mana regeneration. Amplified damage is dealt at the end of the duration as magical damage. Oh, really? Was this actually added in last patch? I'm not too sure. So yeah, Orchid Malevolence is a nice item, but I'm not too sure if it would be that useful with Vengeful Spirit. I'm pretty sure that Vengeful Spirit's abilities are both magical, so maybe an Ethereal Blade could have been useful? Because it does... I think my agility is quite okay as a gain. I get 40 agility, and it does target unit is slowed and cannot be attacked, and takes 2 times your primary attribute plus 75 damage. So essentially, usually an Ethereal Blade is very useful on something like Morphling, which gets a lot of an agility if you switch to agility mode. You're squishy, of course, but still. It's very nice and useful. I don't know if that would have been very useful. I am not too sure what item would have been best for in my case. I don't think a health regeneration item like, I know, a health steal item like Vladimir's, or not Vladimir's because it's a melee only item, but rather like Helm of the Dominator or Mask of Madness would have been useful at all for me. Maybe going towards a butterfly for the extra evasion, or of course not only a butterfly but also a Heaven's Halberd, so that I nether swap and I can actually survive reliably. Maybe a Diffusal Blade, but again I don't have too much attack speed, so I don't see why I should have gone with Diffusal Blade. I have the feeling that Diffusal Blade and Daedalus or Skull Basher and stuff like that are better used on heroes that have a lot of attack speed. Maybe even Desolator, I don't know. That extra armor reduction together with a Medallion of Courage and with my Wave of Terror, that's a total of... actually, this is 7, right? Yeah. Then Wave of Terror is 5, I believe. And Medallion of Courage should be 6, I believe. Where is it actually? I don't see it. There it is. Medallion of Courage is 6 armor reduction, so that is a total of 18 armor reduction. That's quite a bit. That's enough to scare off a Dragon Knight for all I know. But yeah. Essentially, that's what I say. I mean, I'm not too sure what items I should be going with Vengeful Spirit. It's definitely a hero I should be trying and playing more. I haven't played her a whole lot. But the stun is really nice. It does a lot of damage in stuns. The Wave of Terror is a nice debuff. The Nether Swap is a very, very nice ability that can save your allies as well as kill an enemy if done properly. But if done improperly, it can kill an ally as well as you. So it's not really that much. It's a bit of a, you know, pick your poison ability. But pick your poison, choose your side of the coin. I don't know, it's one coin of 2 sides. That doesn't make any sense, but yeah, it's a nice ability. I definitely one that I would love to learn a bit, to use a bit better. But I didn't have the chance in that match. I used it once and I don't even know if it was that necessary. I might have used it once more against that anti-mage that was blinking away, but again, I'm not too sure if we would have killed him at that point. I had a couple of ideas about that, but sadly it didn't come out to work for me. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching this, and until next time, be well. Bye!